I was running around with my brother at 3 years old when he started playing because he's 2 years older than me. And then when I got to of age of 5, I started playing team sports with football, and I have so many good memories with that, man. Like, we won so many championships. I have so many like rings, trophies at my house. I remember my mom being the team mom, throwing us grapes, oranges at halftime. It's just good memories. My dad being the coach, being there every step of the way, it's priceless. The most valuable thing about playing at that young age is being susceptible to information, and my mom and dad like giving me lessons like never give up, push through diversity. If you're hurt, just push through it. Like it was very important. I'm very thankful to them, especially my older brother too, teaching me lessons at that young age, and that definitely progressed me to be the man I am today. As much as I love playing football now, when I was younger, my parents also made me play other sports like wrestling, baseball, soccer, and I even did karate for a little bit when I was younger too. But I love wrestling, and I still do. And I feel like they gave me the aggressiveness and technique, athleticism, balance, and so on to help me with my technique now as a center. So now I'm in middle school, I have all this experience under my belt, and I'm ready. And I go out there, and it's a little nerve-wracking because the kids are bigger. 2 years is a lot. And I'm just ready to get pinned. I was excited, a little nervous, but I was ready to start my middle school career. As a sixth grader, I was kind of a tweener. I played mostly fifth quarter, which is after the fourth. It's kind of like the JV, and I also switched to varsity for some plays if the center messed up a snap or someone gets hurt. And that was a really great experience as a sixth grader, and I'm really thankful for Coach Barrett for allowing me to do that. And in seventh grade, I was full-time varsity, and I played center and nose guard, and I feel like playing varsity for that season really allowed me to perfect my craft for eighth grade. So my eighth grade year, I'm one of the older guys now, top dog, and it was just really exciting to be one of the older guys on the team now because I've always been used to being the younger guy. So now I'm the captain, I can throw around orders, be the leader, and all my friends around me, I've been playing since I was 5, like Christian Cromer, and he's one of my leaders now too, like he's right next to me. It's just really exciting to play games with all my buddies and teach the younger kids and leave the program better than how it was when I entered. The last game was very emotional because I've been at Challenger for 9 years, kindergarten through eighth, and all my friends are going to branch off to different high schools, and just that feeling, that realization is I'm growing up. It was very sad but also inspiring because I'm growing up and I need to mature for high school. So after the emotional pass of that last game, I'm now into my freshman year in high school, and the first summer practice, I walk into the weight room, I see these big kids lifting all this weight, and I think in my head, am I going to be able to do that one day? How am I going to go against these kids? And it was just a mental block I'm pretty sure all freshmen have to go through, and it's kind of like the rite of passage. But I was up for the challenge, and I worked my butt off my freshman year in the weight room, dieting, I was working very hard. And that hard work paid off because I started on JV, but I also got plays on varsity. And I remember in the playoffs, I subbed in for our center, and it was a direct snap to the back, and we scored. So that was a really good memory that I have.
So Chase, man, he's another one. He's a quiet one. He's a guy that also leads by example. His weight room work ethic is unbelievable, and that's what really stands out about him, and that's what makes him a great football player because he can anchor down and just dig people out because he's so powerful, and that's upper body and lower body. His squat numbers, his power clean, his bench, they're all up there. So just seeing that and seeing that power and the potential there, and just getting to know him. He's a quiet kid, but very respectful. He's definitely a team player. And I was a center. I started out as a center myself, so I love my big boys. I've always been a hog. So we got that connection going right away. But he's just everything you want out of an offensive lineman, and that's why he's the best in this area at what he does.
So I had a lot of momentum going from my freshman to sophomore year, and I feel like my breakout year was my junior year because that's when I got like super strong. My strength was through the roof. My skills were toned, and I was really coming into my own. Not only did I play football, I also wrestled and weightlifted, and I feel like I've definitely made big jumps in progress in my talent in those two sports, and I have my sights set on states this year in wrestling. It's one of my big goals this year.
We're big on multiple sport athletes. Really, the more multiple sport athletes you have in your football program, I think the more well-rounded you are. We push it. Football season. Once that wraps up, you need to jump into the next thing, and then once that ends, there should be something in the spring too. So we push it hard. And Chase is one of those guys. He's a two-sport athlete because wrestling's his other big thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure if he wanted to do weightlifting and then go out to track and throw, he would excel in those too because he's such a powerful guy. But once wrestling ends, he's back in football mode. But he's a guy that he doesn't leave the weight room anyway, so he's always getting bigger and stronger. So it's great and it benefits him, and that's why he's successful in these two sports. But with Lineman, the correlation between football and wrestling is huge, man, because it's all about hands, leverage, staying low and things like that. So, anytime you got an offensive lineman who has potential and, they don't really know what their other sport is, they need to be wrestling. And that's what Chase is good at. That's what he excels at. And I think he's poised to have a huge year in both sports.
My senior season now, and I'm back to the top dog just like in 8th grade. And being a leader in Intracoast is really an honor because all the little kids look up to you. They're puppies. You're the top dog. And they're heavily influenced. So running around the field, no walking, no talking back to coaches, obviously. They will follow you in that order, just like I did when I was a freshman. So it's really important to lead them to the right way. And for me, my personal goals this year is to get a lot of great film for college recruitment and guide my team to winning another district championship. And I feel like for team goals is have a winning season and do the best as we can because this is our last year as seniors. It's very important to us.
Chase's role as a leader is, clear and defined as the center on the offensive line. I mean, anytime you can have your center being one of your veteran guys who's a leader, your offensive line should be pretty good because they're going to follow his lead. And we have kind of a mixed bag. We got a kid who moved in from Texas at left guard in Manny Cardoza. He's another really strong kid, doesn't miss anything. He's there at every practice, every workout. So he's kind of become like an extension of Chase, which is great. Our other guard is Michael Hill Williams. He's a returner also, so the expectations there are high. The right tackle is Devontae Waddy, also a senior, and he's a very athletic offensive tackle, so he can do a lot of things for us. And then on the other side, we got a kid who's going to be a sophomore, who's really gone under Chase's wing, and we're seeing the benefit of that already. He stays after and gets extra workouts in, and he's just getting stronger by the day just from being around Chase and staying in the weight room with him. So that's great. So you got 4 seniors and a sophomore. So it's an interesting way our offensive line is kind of gelled. And then we got a group of sophomores coming up that are going to be really good too. We got they call him we got a little Chase Jr. that's coming up and a few other guys that have a lot of potential. So we got good depth when you look at it that way. But the way that Chase models the game for those guys is huge, and that has me hopeful that next year we're going to have a successful year this year, but next year I don't think we'll miss a beat once those guys come up because they've had that example set in front of them for so long.
Not only was I focused on football, I was very, very focused on academics. I took it very seriously, and I've always been on the principal's list, always been an honor student. And it's very important because in college, not only do I want to play sports, obviously, I want to get an education to set me up for the future and have a good paying job.
Chase is a fantastic student. Another one, like I've said earlier, he's quiet, so the teachers love that. They don't want those headaches in class, and he certainly isn't one. But he does a great job. He's got his high GPA, he's got his test scores knocked out, and that's going to open doors for him. So that's why he has some great programs at all different levels looking at him right now. And wherever he goes, he's going to be an asset. I know he's going to get his education and have the whole world open to him after that because of the type of person that he is.
The road of the athlete is very hard, and I just want to take a second to thank everyone that's led me down the right path. Like, I want to thank God for putting the strength in my body, putting the right people in the right places, and just taking care of me, protecting me on the field. I'd love to thank my family for everything. My dad, been there since day one, literally. So is my mom being the team mom. working out when I was a little kid at the field, just taking time and effort. And I want to thank my older brother too for teaching me the lessons, my middle school coaches, my teachers, my high school coaches. I can't thank them enough. I just can't believe I'm already a senior. And I fully believe in my heart, whatever comes to me in my future, I'm ready to tackle it and be the best man I can be.